The wind blew from the eastern horizon, stirring up red dust, accompanied by the smell of dry grass, still damp with the morning dew. On the vast grassland there were no borders, no fences, only one rule: the strong survive, the weak perish. For millions of years, this place has been the scene of fierce battles, wild chases between hunters and prey, but also the suffocating silence when nature decided who would survive and who would have to go. In the center of this legendary dark continent, where the sun could cast fire upon the grasslands and thirst could destroy life in just one afternoon, lived 5 mighty creatures, 5 giants, 5 symbols of the wilderness. People gave them a simple but weighty name: Big Five. The term Big Five, literally translated, was coined by European hunters in the 19th century, not because of their size, but because they were the most elusive, dangerous, and cunning animals, creatures that could kill you even if you thought you got them first. The list includes the lion, the immortal king of the grasslands, the African elephant, the intellectual giant, the rhinoceros, nature's armored carapace, the buffalo, the ruthless, indomitable, and unpredictable beast, and the leopard, the silent killer in the foliage. Over time, however, the Big Five have become more than just trophies for hunters. They have become living legends, representatives of biodiversity, driving forces for conservation, and the reason why millions of people from all over the world flock to remote reserves like the Masai Mara, the Serengeti, and the Kruger National Park just to catch a glimpse of them. On the southern border of the Serengeti, where the basalt plateaus are cracked and red, a pride of male lions roams. They do not belong to any territory, kingdom, or female pack. Scientifically speaking, they are a coalition, an alliance of adult males who search together for territory and, with a little luck, can claim the right to inherit it. They are called the Blood of Fire. 5 male lions, each bearing the marks of a fight on the plains. Stubborn and powerful, they are not beautiful individuals, but fighters of tough survival. Of the average lifespan of a male lion, only 10 to 12 years, he spends most of his time in exile, fighting for every inch of land. Survival is anchored in his genetic makeup. Ashur, the leader of the group, has a scar above his left eye. He was a prince who had been banished from the pack after a bloody usurpation. His eyes carried the weight of loss. His body carried the scars of battles, but his spirit was unbroken. Makari was the wild one who always rushed into confrontation. His mane was thick and dark. His temper was fierce. His roar was the loudest. Temba, a quiet lion, preferred the shade and waterfowl. He did not seek fights. He did not challenge authority. He watched. He waited. He understood. Django, the youngest, was still growing and sometimes rubbed his claws against tree trunks in frustration. His body was still developing, his confidence was still forming, but his potential was immense. Rami was cool and rarely growled, but always followed the movements of the other members with his eyes. He was the observer, the thinker, the strategist. They roamed many lands, short grassy plains covered with Thompson's gazelles, rocky hills rising like watchtowers, and flat swamps at the edge of the forest during the rainy season. Each lion marked its territory with a roar and a mark on a tree or rock. Every step of the blood of fire was a declaration of war. Ashur sat in the grass and remembered the group's first victory. They had been wandering for weeks, hungry, tired, desperate. They had crossed into the territory of an old lion, a solitary male. He was large, he was experienced, he was dangerous, but the blood of fire were 5. The old lion was 1. They surrounded him. They attacked from all sides. The battle was brief. The old lion fell. The blood of fire had won. After this victory, they began to mark a territory with 4 female lions and their young cubs. In the biological process, the new male lion kills all the cubs so that the female lions will soon come into heat again. The blood of fire were no exception. They were successful. The area was named Steel Blood Valley. Breeding ground of power, where the males became true kings. In the following months, all 5 male lions alternated mating with the females in the area to ensure genetic diversity. and maximize fertility. The females, accustomed to the harshness of their old territory, accepted the rule of the stronger. The biological structure changed rapidly. The scent of new males filled the grassland. Their roars echoed again at dusk. Within a year, the number of cubs in the area increased dramatically. The blood of fire, once displaced wanderer, became the most powerful genetic force in the area, and were at the top of the food chain in one part of the Serengeti. They were now more than just lions. They were the apex animals of the Big Five, the epitome of power, majesty, and dominance in the African animal kingdom. Let me know what you'd like me to do with this next, e.g., continue the story, edit it, turn it into a script, generate images of the lions, etc. Today, a pale ray of morning light broke through the thin layer of fog that covered the swamp west of Steel Blood Valley. A Shur, with a heavy but sure gait, stood on the dry hill and let out a low roar. It was the signal, the call to the pride of lionesses and their adult cubs for their first joint hunt, a rare ritual in lion society. Today's goal was neither antelope nor zebra. It was the African buffalo, an animal known for its ferocity and solidarity, an indispensable part of the Big Five. They weighed up to 900 kilograms, had sickle-shaped horns, and were extremely dangerous in their counterattacks. But a successful hunt would raise the pack's reputation and confirm the Fireblood's unique position. Under the leadership of Ashur and Makari, the lionesses, experienced hunters in their own right, began to spread out in a fan shape. Their bodies were low, their steps were silent, their eyes were fixed on the buffalo herd. The younger animals were placed outside, where they could learn and help when needed. Rami stayed behind and acted as interceptors in case of a counterattack by the herd. Meanwhile, Django crept quietly through the reeds at the edge of the swamp with youthful agility. The buffalo herd was massive, hundreds of animals. Their bodies were strong, their horns were sharp, their eyes were watchful. But the lions were patient. They waited for the perfect moment. A young buffalo strayed from the herd. It was curious. It was inexperienced. It was vulnerable. The lionesses moved into position. They surrounded the buffalo. They cut off its escape routes. They closed in from all sides. Ashur gave the signal. The attack began. The lionesses charged forward. Their bodies launched through the grass. Their roars shattered the silence. The buffalo tried to run. It was too late. The lionesses pulled it down. The buffalo fought. Its horns swung. Its hooves kicked. But the lions held on. Their claws dug deep, their teeth sank into flesh. The buffalo fell, its struggles weakened, its breathing stopped. When the bull collapsed, the herd bellowed in the distance. They had lost one of their own, but they could not help him. The lions had won. was more than just a meal. It was a demonstration of power. The vultures began to circle above them. The swamp glowed with a pale yellow light that reflected off the grass. In the soft evening light of the Serengeti plain, the air was still after a strenuous hunt. A pride of lions gathered around their prey, an old buffalo, exhausted from an arduous struggle for survival. The scent of fresh meat wafted on the breeze and mingled with the warmth of the ground. Creating a quiet ritual atmosphere rather than a casual dining scene. After last night's hunt, when the swamp west of Steel Blood Valley found a rare rest, the morning sun began to shine through the thin layer of clouds. The reeds swayed gently in the morning breeze, and the water reflected the light like glass, stretching to the horizon. Not far from the adult pride's resting place, a group of lion cubs, descendants of the Fireblood Order, enjoyed a safe morning. They jumped over shallow mud puddles, scraped against reed roots, and occasionally rolled in the dew-covered grass. This was the golden age of their maturation, a rare childhood for a species that was born to inherit the throne. Luma, Taro, Kai, 3 young males, and the 2 females, Naira and Pia, eagerly explored the edge of the swamp. Curiosity guided them. Every sound of the water, every strange movement in the mud, evoked a new reaction. Their paws were clumsy, their bodies were small, but their instincts were sharp. Suddenly, the water nearby rippled. A long, silent creature, almost blending into the mud, moved slowly through the shallow water. A medium-sized crocodile, used to hiding from larger animals, was searching for its own meal. Luma stopped first. His ears pricked, his eyes widened. He did not move on immediately, but quietly sank into a crouch and stalked instinctively. Kai, quick-witted, quickly noticed the movement. Taro was more cautious, standing at a distance and observing, but the desire to explore flashed in the eyes of all 3. The joy was not just a game, but the awakening of the hunting instinct. They called to each other with soft cries that only their own kind could understand. And then, as if by a natural sign, one of the lionesses, Paya's mother, appeared from the distance. She did not rush to drag her cub away, nor did she try to stop it. She stood still at the edge of the swamp and watched. The lion does not teach its cubs through excessive protectiveness, but by exposing them to real situations under understanding supervision. The mother knew the crocodile was a threat, but she also knew her cubs needed to learn. As the young approached, the crocodile seemed not to have sensed the danger yet. It slowly turned around and prepared to retreat to deeper water, but it was too late. A faint noise came from behind Temba. The adult male stepped forward like a heavy shadow. From experience, he knew that this opportunity could not be missed. It was the ideal moment. Low water, mud to hold the prey, and a safe distance to protect the young. After just a few breaths, the air became tense. The lionesses bowed quickly. No shouting, no rushing. Every step was a coordinated combination of instinct and strategy. A lesson for the next generation. As the crocodile tried to retreat, Naira, the youngest female, suddenly jumped onto the reed bank and made an excited noise. The unintentional gesture caused the prey to falter. It was a crucial moment. Temba held on. The females gave him timely support. Soon the crocodile, strong and armored as it was no match for the combined strength of an experienced pack. Lions hunt with tenacity and endurance, not through speed, but through strategy and unity. When the prey was still, the group of cubs stood at a distance. They did not pounce on the animal to eat it, but watched it with shining eyes. It was the first time they had seen a trophy created through the collaboration of their own species. A valuable lesson that strength comes from unity and perseverance, not just from claws or roars. Soon after, the feeding began in an orderly circle. Temba ate first, then the females, and finally the young. But before Luma took the first bite, he proudly walked around the crocodile carcass and lightly scratched in the mud as if to mark it. This is our first day. The day we touch the wild nature within ourselves. In the distance, sunlight reflected in the rippling water. The sky was clear and cloudless. Gray herons glided slowly above. The entire swamp was still peaceful, but behind this tranquility lay another part of the great biological cycle that continued to operate, where one living being became the lifeblood of another, and a younger generation learned to grow up and take on the role of protector of the territory. On a misty morning, when the morning breeze had not yet swept the last moisture from the tall grass of the Serengeti, Ashur, the old lion who once led an entire dynasty, left the heart of the territory. His gait had slowed with age, but his gaze was still as sharp as the blade honed by many years of fighting. He was alone, without his cubs, without Temba by his side, without Makari to follow him. It was a normal patrol, or at least what lions do to defend their territory. But this time something was different. Headwinds brought with them a strange smell, the dry scent of a creature few would want to encounter. At the foot of an ancient acacia tree at the edge of the swamp, where small antelopes usually hid, Ashur accidentally approached a short patch of grass, and there, beneath the rustling leaves, lay a coiled African cobra. At almost 2 meters long and with a powerful neurotoxic venom, it was one of the few creatures that even lions were wary of. The encounter was over in a fraction of a second. A slip, a reflexive slash, and then a bite. The snake's sharp fangs pierced the thick skin on Ashur's forelegs and injected a neurotoxic venom into his bloodstream. Ashur backed away without shouting, without panicking, just the calm of an old warrior who knew his destiny was knocking at his door. He turned around and tried to walk away, to escape the danger zone, but after just a few hundred meters, his legs were shaking, his vision blurred, his breathing was rapid, his chest felt heavy, as if it were weighed down by stones. The venom was spreading. The cobra's neurotoxin was shutting down his nervous system. His muscles were failing, his heart was slowing, his body was losing control. He stumbled, he fell, he tried to rise, he could not. Temba was the first to find him, not through his voice, but through his intuition. In the days following the Alliance's collapse, Temba had watched Ashur silently from afar, like a faithful, wordless shadow. When he saw the leader's body lying motionless in the shadow of the trees, Temba's eyes shone not with fear, but with silent understanding. He approached slowly. He sniffed Ashur's body. He nudged him gently with his nose. There was no response. Ashur was gone. Temba did not roar. He did not call for the others. He simply stood there for a long moment, his head bowed, his body still. He was mourning. Ashur died peacefully. No battle, no bloodshed, no final roar. Only the wind whistled through the grassland and the distant call of waterfowl. Ashur's death was like the last sign of an era. There was no funeral, no farewell, but nature understood and adapted. Temba soon retreated into the jungle, far from conflict and rivalries. He was not a fighter. He was not a leader. He was a survivor. Makari, young and ambitious, conquered the central area, but could not hold it completely. He was strong, but he was not wise. He made enemies. He made mistakes. He made himself vulnerable. Django, now a grown warrior, separated from Makari, took a few young females with him and began to build his own territory on the eastern edge. He was no longer the frustrated young lion. He had become a leader, a ruler, a king. Rami disappeared. No one knew what happened to him. He simply vanished. Some said he was killed by hyenas. Others said he died of old age. No one knew for sure. Nobody called it blood of fire anymore. The Valley of the Steel Blood, where once the roar had resounded, where once 5 men ruled equally, was now divided into 3 regions. No alliance, no supreme leader. The ashes of a dynasty were scattered to the winds, leaving a legend in the heart of the Serengeti. There was no eternal glory, no unchanging power. Only the cycle of life would continue, and new lions would rise from the memory of the land. The story of the Blood of Fire is not unique. It has happened before. It will happen again. New coalitions will rise. New territories will be claimed. New cubs will be born. New wars will be fought. The savannah does not care about names. It does not care about legacies. It only cares about survival. Who eats? Who dies? Who lives to see another sunrise? And as the story of the apex predator comes to an end, our journey begins in a different direction. Slow, arduous, and challenging.